Hey, what's up guys? My name is Josh.
What is up the world? My name is Austin Schrock.
And I'm a photographer and...
What is up the world? My name is Austin Schrock. I'm a daily vlogger. I try to create something for you every single day. What an amazingly beautiful day. Oh, what? You don't believe me? I'll just show you.
Aha! Welcome to the video. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, my name is Josh Winiarski and I'm a photographer and filmmaker here on YouTube as well as Instagram. And today I'll be joined by daily vlogger Austin Schrock through the power of the internet for a little bit of a competition. Also, I'm in a little bit of a battle with the rain right now. It keeps going on and off. It's just light, but filming in the rain is just such a pain. So I'm really hoping it'll just give me like 15 minutes to just film what I need and get out. So about a month ago, Austin messaged me through a Discord server made by another YouTuber named Audrey Ember, and after noticing we had similar interests, he messaged me and he's like, hey, we should make a video together, and I was totally down. So the idea was this: we would both take a fall themed photo and then we would send each other our photos. So we each had 2 photos, one taken by each of us, and then we would edit the photos individually, and then we would send each other the edited photos after editing our own photos. Sorry if this is getting confusing. And then we kind of go over the different edits, and hopefully the title makes more sense, but essentially it's 2 photographers editing the same photos, and we're just gonna kind of see how our styles vary and compare, and hopefully just showcase how 2 people can take the same image and get a completely different result by putting their own creative spin on it. So of course, after hearing this, I said yes, and I began contemplating what photo to send him. So for those of you who don't follow me already, if you take a look at my Instagram, you'll notice that I've been posting a lot of fall pics lately. Now, I'm a huge fan of taking long exposures at night. I love light trails, I love bokeh when lights are out of focus. I just think it's really cool, so I tried to implement it with the fall theme. Now, admittedly, this was a little bit sneaky of me. I really kind of had to force this photo in there. It's not super fall themed. The leaf in the center I actually found on the ground and just placed there just to get it a little more fall looking. But I think it'll be a great photo for the challenge because I think there's a lot of different directions you can take it in the edit. I'm super excited to see what Austin comes up with, and here are my edits of the pictures we took. Alright, so let's take a look at how I edited my own photo. So the first thing I almost always adjust is temperature, but in this case the photo was a little underexposed, so I upped the exposure so I could actually see what I was doing. Some photos definitely look better if you opt for a warmer version over a colder version or vice versa, but I found this photo looked good either way, so I just opted for the warmer version because it's fall themed. Let's get a little yellow, a little orange in there and make it scream fall. Also because my photo wasn't that fall looking. Another big decision I had to make was I had to decide whether I wanted the rocks and brush that were kind of under the photo and on the sides to be a little bit brighter so you could see the details, or to just crush them so it's black and you can just really focus on the center of the image. After a little bit of messing around, I decided I wanted to go with a more HDR look, so I lifted those shadows and then I lowered the blacks to add some contrast back to the photo. From there I just kept tweaking the basic corrections until I got an exposure I was happy with. Surprisingly, I didn't find that I really needed the tone curve for this photo, so I tweaked it just a tiny bit and then I moved on to the HSL tab. Without going into too much detail, I pretty much focused on the reds, oranges, and yellows first. I wanted to try and bring those out as much as possible, and then I played with some other colors, but for the most part, I just wanted to focus on those. The key here was just baby tweaks. I didn't want to tweak the colors too much and have my photo looking obnoxious, so I messed a little bit with the hue, saturation, and luminance of those 3, and then I thought the photo was looking pretty good. From there, I just added a couple radial filters so I could kind of draw your focus into what I wanted you to focus on, and added a little bit of sharpness and pretty much called that an edit. Moving on to Austin's photo, I realized pretty quickly that this was gonna be a teal and orange photo. The sky, the clothes, the leaves, everything about it was just screaming teal and orange. so that's what I opted to go for. So right off the bat, I just warmed up the photo a little bit, and then I tweaked the highlights, exposure, shadows, blacks, whites, all that good stuff to just kind of balance the photo out before I got into the colors. I did play with the tone curve a little more in this instance, making sure to lower the highlights and darks and raise the shadows a little bit. Big rule of thumb for me whenever I'm shooting a photo where a person is essentially the main focus is I want to make sure I get my skin tones right. That is just key for me. So once the basics were done, I jumped right into the HSL tab and started tweaking those oranges and reds. And once I was finally satisfied with those skin tones, only then did I start messing with the other colors, because skin tones are they're just key. I mean, you can't have someone looking yellow or someone looking like a tomato. It kills the photo. From there, I did some split toning, messed with the primaries, tried a radial filter. Didn't like that at all, so then I just grabbed an adjustment brush and touched up the skin tones a little more. So I realized that was a little fast. If you like my edits and you want to learn more how to edit closer to my style, I have a full tutorial already on my YouTube. It's long, like, believe me, it's long, but I really go in depth. I talk you through my thought process, I try different things, I change those things. So if you're really looking to learn and you've got like 30 minutes to just sit down, you know, maybe you're eating popcorn and just taking notes, you know, if you want to watch me go in a full in-depth edit, I'll link the video right here. But without further ado, let's check out how Austin edited. I cannot say edited. But without further ado, let's see how Austin edited these photos. Whoa. So as you can see, he took a totally different approach than me. I wanted to make my border visible, so I like upped the shadows and made everything a little bit more exposed. He did the exact opposite. He really darkened up those edges, so all you can really see is what's in the center of the photo, while the framing is pretty much blacked out. So definitely a lot different than mine, but really cool nonetheless. He also seemed to create a more teal and red look, which I'm really digging. But enough of my blabbering, I'll let Austin himself explain his thought process behind this.
Generally, how I like to start out is...
Actually, you know what? No. If you want to see his process, go check him out yourself. Sorry if that sounds a little mean, but if you aren't watching him already, I'm going to throw a link to his channel in the description, so be sure to show him some love if you're interested in editing like him, or you just want to see some of the other awesome content he's creating. Like, I'm honestly not even just saying this, he is one of my favorite YouTubers to watch right now. I watch almost every single one of his videos, which again is daily, which is so dang impressive. But every video is just so dang good. He always has a good story to tell, or something he wants to get off his chest, or he just keeps it so interesting, and his editing is on point, his camera work is on point. He's just so cool, and like, honestly, I can't wait to see where he is like a year from now. I think he's gonna be pretty big. Anyways, looking at the photo he shot, you can definitely tell we had the same general idea, but his edit is essentially just a more pronounced version of mine. Honestly, if you just look at our photos side by side, mine looks a little bland compared to his. Like, if you hadn't seen the original photo, you might think mine was the original and his was the edited version. Austin's photo has Instagram vibes all over it. The teal and orange is just really bold and in your face, and it's like, hey, you're not just scrolling by this photo. Now, there's nothing wrong with either of these photos, we just took a different approach to the editing process. If you're just looking for a totally down-to-earth, simple, good-looking photo, you might opt for my version. If you're looking for something a little more bold, a little more edgy, a little more in-your-face and poppin', you might want something like Austin's to really spice up your Instagram. Either way, hopefully by now you can tell that two photographers can take the exact same images, as long as you shot in RAW, and completely put your own creative spin on it and make something that really stands out and says, you. We definitely had a different interpretation of both photos, but neither one is like better than the other. It really just depends on what you're using it for or what your taste is. Anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully you found this video entertaining, interesting, or maybe even learned something. If so, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And on top of that, be sure to check out Austin's channel. He's a daily vlogger, which means he's uploading every single day. Every day he's putting out something for you guys, and it's always awesome, inspirational. He's such a cool guy, so be sure to check him out. Anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. And on that note, I'll see you all in the next one.